Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to make something that no human should make or eat. Julie had this at a gathering and came home and said, we've got to try this, you've got to try this, you've got to make this. So here I am, I'm going to make it. I already know that I'm probably going to regret it, but it's going to be fantastic along the way. So I've got a pot here and I'm going to put some butter in the pot. Got it on a fairly gentle heat. We want to melt that butter. The next ingredient we need is this is going to get confusing. If you're in any country on the planet Earth, except for the country directly behind me across the lake here, you're going to get a Mars bar. Well, you're going to get 4 Mars bars. So, rest of the world, 4 Mars bars. If you live across the lake in the United States, Mars bars are no longer available to you. And even when they were different than the Mars bars that the rest of the planet gets. Yours had almonds in them or something. So if you're in the United States, you want 4 Milky Way bars. And in the rest of the world, you're all saying a Milky Way bar? That's not the same as a Mars bar, and you are correct. Milky Way bar in the rest of the planet is not the same as a Milky Way bar in the United States. We don't get Milky Way here in Canada anyway, so we don't get either of the Milky Ways. There's 2 different Milky Ways. And if you're in the United States wanting to know what a Milky Way on the rest of the planet is like, you get a 3 Musketeers. Confused? Okay, so we'll let these all melt together. Gentle heat, don't want anything to burn. Okay, while this is melting together, I have an 8x8 glass baking dish that I have buttered all over. I've got 3 cups of Rice Krispies. I have a cup of chocolate chips and a 1/4 cup of butter. And I'm going to put the butter in with the chocolate chips. While the candy bars and the butter are melting together in this pot, I'm going to watch them very closely. I don't want them to burn. I'm going to take the butter and the chocolate chips inside and melt them in the microwave. Okay, that is melted together really nicely. This is starting to melt too really nicely. So it looks like it's all separated. It's going to take quite a bit of stirring, I think, to get a nice homogeneous mixture. And I don't know if there's any reason why you couldn't just melt this all together in a glass bowl in the microwave, just like I did with the chocolate and the butter there. I'm pretty sure that would be okay. Okay, that's looking pretty melty. So, in go the Rice Krispies. Okay, last little bit. They stirred in really quickly. I've got them all mixed together now. So, into the baking dish. We don't have to bake this. I'm just calling it a baking dish because that's what it is. This is totally a stovetop thing. Just pat it down, kind of even it out. And then the melted chocolate goes on top. And that's it. Now I guess you just wait for the whole thing to sort of cool down and settle in together. Strikes me as one of those ridiculously easy recipes that comes together really quickly that you could get up from the dinner table and say, what are we having for dessert? Bang that together and within 20 minutes be sitting on the couch to eat it. Now I just have to wait for it to cool down and for Julie to come home before I can give it a taste.
Hey, Glenn. Hey,
Jules.
friends. What do we have today?
Something no one should eat.
It's very chocolatey.
It's that Mars bar thing you told me about.
Oh, the one that Christy made.
Yeah.
Very good. That was really good. Is it soft and chewy and fabulous? And I'm already digging it. It's evil. In all the right ways. Because you've got the nougat and the chocolate and then the extra butter and
That is evil.
I don't know that we need to say anything else, do we?
No. Okay. Mars bar if you live in the rest of the world. Oh, what is it called in the United States? Milky Way if you live in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
But if you live in the rest of the world, it's not a Milky Way. And if you live in the United States and you want to know what the rest of the world calls a Milky Way, it's the Three Musketeers. And if you live in Canada, we don't get Milky Way either. But we sometimes get Three Musketeers.
It's just so
It
complicated.
is so complicated.
Mine's gone.
Okay, thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.